Once we did that, we could do all the other data based upon that. So as the school started, people were continually changing. People were asking for different things. But because we had that housed in PowerSchool, in a track, we labeled our virtual classrooms with the room number of the word virtual. Because we had that information, we could move forward, or we could pull data and we could analyze data based upon that information. So data we're basing our instructional decisions on, that I'm doing practically 2 to 3 times a week, if not more. We're looking at class size based upon whether it's virtual or hybrid, looking at our tracks of each type of child. You know, who are these children? How are we serving? We have a high poverty district. How many of these children are poverty? How many of these children need internet access? You know, what are we actually looking at? Who's signing up for these programs, and how do we need to support them? We have the room numbers I talked about, with them being virtual or a room number, so we knew exactly who's teaching what at any time. It didn't require asking our schools for that information. We could pull that from PowerSchool, and everybody had access to what they needed to do that. We have attendance. So our state in South Carolina has driven our attendance this year with a special virtual present code. And so for our state accountability and our student accountability, we have had to introduce huge attendance changes to our teachers. And now we are tracking that and using that for instructional decisions based upon that. Our course enrollments are constantly updated. We have had to adjust our schedules 3 times in the last 2 months as we started to shift toward getting more kids in the building and having our hybrid kids spread out enough. And then, of course, we're looking at our grades. We're looking for number of failures. Is it increasing? Who is it increasing for? What are our failures looking like in our virtual program compared to our in-person programs? How's it looking, by grade level, by areas, where we have connectivity in our county and where we don't have as good of connectivity in our county, and all those good areas. So those are some of the data things we're looking at. And we're getting more scrutiny from our school board as they're making hard decisions. They're asking for data to help make those hard decisions. Part of our decision to go in person has been centered around some of our growth data, or some of the lack of growth data in our school district, as far as achievement so far this year. Yes, there's medical research that shows out there, that was presented from our local medical experts and so forth. But also part of that presentation is, how are our students really doing in a hybrid format or in a virtual format? And what do we need to make available to them? And it's another piece of data to look at for our students. So we're a huge part in having that data be pulled and have that data be analyzed so that we can see where things are going well and where we have areas for growth. So we want to be able to do that. So how PowerSchool is supporting these. We aim to have the most up-to-date data no matter what. That is our goal. We want to have even future data. So even first semester, so say we had tracks A, B, and C for first semester. We did every data pull first semester. Everything was asked, okay, well, how's virtual doing? How's hybrid doing? We started to have certain kids come 4 days a week. So we gave them a new track and said, okay, how's the 4-day-a-week track going? We even picked up a separate field that we found in PowerSchool, because again, I'm not a computer programmer. I don't have too many customizations on PowerSchool. I know that lots of people do. We don't. But we took what we had and we were able to really use it to move forward. We used another simple field, changed the wording on it to make it spring virtual, and we could plan for the future without having to touch our current data. Because not only were we balancing future planning, but we also had to balance it with constant day-by-day attendance changes, schedule changes, and so forth.